Our podcast is proudly sponsored by Tooth Club, the celebrity dentist specialising in composite bonding, Invisalign and implants. They offer monthly deals and you can spread the cost with monthly payments. With locations across Essex, Hertfordshire, Suffolk and Kent, they're easy to find. Check them out on Instagram at Tooth Club UK. Welcome back to the Yours Sincerely podcast with me, Lauryn Goodman.
And me, Lisa Andrews.
I'm waiting for you to say about the new setup.
Look at us, chilled, relaxed.
Oh, so much better. Because Lisa, honestly, she had a squeaky chair and I couldn't bear it any longer.
Too much, wasn't it?
It was too much listening to you squeak.
Squeaking all over the shop.
Now look, we can just
be chilled. The only worrying thing with this setup, when I'm relaxed, more rolls out.
I think that's the beauty of it.
Right, let's talk about your meeting with Kairos.
Okay, so we all got pulled in because we had to do some sort of, I think it was like a mathematics and phonics class. We basically
What's phonics?
Phonics is how you pronounce letters and words. Yeah. So it was sad. See, I learned something. So if anyone wants to learn that.
Say it again.
It's not some sort of sexual thing. It's a sad. And he had his little magnetic board and he had to move the letters to spell the word. I was actually shocked how much he's learned in such a little time. It made me so proud of him.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, you guys are like sponges. All the class did well, to be fair, but it was just so funny seeing him be so competitive because he kept putting his hand up to answer the question.
Oh, and then looking at you, I bet. See, are
like,
you
Mum.
Looking at me?
Yeah, Mum, look at me, check me out. But I had a bit of a moment. It was a bit embarrassing.
Why?
It was really embarrassing. Bless one of the mums, she clocked me and I was like...
Your mum?
No, one of the other mums.
Oh, one of the other mums?
Yeah.
Why? What did you do?
Well, I actually didn't do anything. You always put it on me like I've done something wrong. God.
Oh, it's normally sort of an everyday occurrence.
We're used to it now. What's Lauren done now?
What have you done?
So I was in the class and I looked to the right and it said my family. I thought, okay. So I was trying to find Kairos. Obviously, everyone's got their names at the bottom right-hand corner. So I find Kairos and I'm reading it out and then I look at the picture. Right, it said, bearing in mind, I didn't know about this board. I hadn't been told about it either before I walked in.
Right.
And I didn't even know that they were doing it. So it was a real shock to me when I'm sitting there in the class, just minding my own business, learning phonics and learning maths with him. And I turned to the right and this just literally wiped me out. I think when you're going through everything you're going through as well, it kind of just hits you that harder, doesn't it?
Always.
Like,
yeah, of course.
Daddy plays football, but I am the bestest at football in the whole wide world. And Mummy sleeps with me at bedtime. Kiki likes holding my hand.
That is so cute. What, that was written on the board?
So it was written on the board and then it had his name. And obviously all the handwritings, they're trying to do the whole joining up, leading in, leading out handwriting. And then there was a picture above.
Oh, he drew it.
He drew this picture and it had Nana, Mummy. I feel like he's done me lying down as if I'm lying in his
bed. Well, she's always lying down. Doesn't do a thing. Feet up.
Don't say I'm always lying down because you know that...
that would just get taken in. Always on her back.
Well, always on her back. That's how she got there in that first place.
Yeah.
Kiki, I'll do the banner for you guys. So you don't have to do it for me. Kiki and Kairo then. Kiki's so tiny as well in the little picture. It's so cute. Anyway, miles away, nearly off the page, is his dad.
Oh, really? So am I there?
Unfortunately, you and I don't know how you didn't make it compared to his
I'll
dad.
be having words.
I know.
I will be.
But look,
let me see.
But it's interesting because I went and met with a play therapist after and I was talking to her about this picture and she said that actually kids, you learn a lot about kids with how they draw and what they write about and what they draw about. I've never really thought about it because obviously when Kairo was younger, the drawings used to be, a whale or a football or not really family oriented.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen this. It literally took me by surprise anyway, but she said it's really interesting that he's drawn his dad he couldn't be any further away from us, all of us.
Well, he would be off the page.
He wouldn't even, he'd be off the page if he tried. And she said that subconsciously, that's what he's got.
He views it.
Yeah, he's very far away, as in he's there but not there.
He's not present.
I feel that's really sad. Sad but true.
It's sad. I don't know if the right word. Yeah, it is sad.
It's sad, but it's subconscious.
And also, look what he's got around him close. The women that he's got round his
That's who he thinks is his. When I say to him who's his family, he always says me, Kiki, and him.
Yeah.
That's what that's what he classifies as his family.
Yeah. Harley was the same.
Really?
Yeah.
He'd say
always. We were the three musketeers. Me, Harley, and Layla.
If you asked him, is that?
Yeah, it would be. And then if I asked him now, my mum's at the top of the bloody list.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it from a child's point of view because obviously he's put Nana and he's put his dad into the picture. But when I ask him in bed and I'm like, go on then, so who is your family?
Yeah, it's you three.
Us three. Not a bad little family, but...
I'm going to jump in because I'm dreading sports day at Kairos school.
Are you going to come? Tell me you're going to come.
Yeah, for the pure laugh of it.
It won't be a laughing matter.
I know what's going to happen. I can see it all now. It's going to be a
serious event. It's going to be a serious event.
You know, like 3 months before, Lauren will be having... one-to-one training.
I'll be like,
for
Charlie,
the egg and spoon.
Honestly, I'll be calling my PT going, Charlie Lambert, by the way. Charlie, I'm calling you. If I get the call up for sports day, which I will because it's only me, then I'm calling you in 3 months before and we're gonna get serious.
Oh my God.
Honestly,
if you go to that school,
fitness is calling.
Either stay off for the day or just
don't bother entering.
Pretend you've got a pulled ligament.
Honestly, because I will put myself...
Do you know, you talking of sports day, Harley done something so lovely.
What?
At school, Harley
Did he save you the egg from the egg and spoon race?
He saved me. No, this was so special because Harley's ADHD. It's like always been ADHD, just ADHD. And his particular teacher at the time, obviously Harley's 27, so ADHD wasn't like it is now. You know, people didn't accommodate it. You'd get chucked out the classroom or I'd have to pick him up. This particular teacher, Mr. Elsden, did not like my son. He was only 6. And even when I arrived at sports day, I could see him just rolling his eye.
That's so bad, though.
At Harley. Yeah, he just didn't have any time for him. Said he disrupted the class, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, on sports day, I did have to walk over to Mr. Elson and look him clean in the eye and say, that's my boy.
What would you do?
So in Harley's class was a little boy that had a walking frame. He was born with, I don't know what it was.
But his hips maybe.
Yeah, and his legs, they weren't straight and they weren't. Lovely little boy. Anyway, and Harley is really competitive, very competitive. I never knew this was going to happen. So it was the running race. And they fired whatever it is, the go, cut, whatever they done.
Right.
The race started. And I promise you, this is a true story. Harley's running. He was quite fast. Not the fastest, another little boy was, but he was fast. He was definitely second or third.
Okay.
As they're all running, I know he looked behind him and he clocked the little boy on the frame who was obviously last. And you know what? My son just jogged on the spot till he caught up and he took him. It actually makes me cry.
Oh, really?
Yes, really actually does. And Harley took him to the finish line with him and they both finished last, for want of a better word, together. And Harley really even let him go over the line before him. And I was so proud of him and I went straight over to Mr. Elson, or whatever his bloody name was. I looked at him and I went, yeah, that's my son.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me. But there was one really lovely teacher. She come straight over and when the other little boy wasn't looking at, she said, Harley, that was so special what you done. And that is, not everyone gets to see that side of Harley, but he would still be the same now, apart from in the boxing ring. He wouldn't wait for the other one to finish. No, but do you know what I mean? That actually brought a tear to my eye because
Well, you were there to witness
I was there and
yeah.
I just thought he gets so much stick because he can't sit still and he can't. But you know what? That boy has got a heart of gold. Yeah. Yeah.
What a lovely thing for him to do.
I know. And that's a true story. Mr. Elsden, or whatever your flipping name is, if you're watching this,
Shame on you, Mr. Whatever
sit
your name
on
is.
it.
Oh,
Oh,
she brought the bird.
she meant that. And I'm had my nails down. I'm really sorry.
You need to get into the story about the taxi.
So that's another story, Lauren, isn't it? So
It's one of many Harley's antics at school.
yeah. Now he's, I'm going to say 10.
Okay, he's 10.
10-ish. And I mean, getting a phone call from the school was a regular occurrence. It was sort of like, hi, yep, what now?
Yeah.
He joined another classroom because he didn't like the lesson that we were doing.
Joined another classroom.
He went and sat in another classroom because he wasn't interested in maths. Anyway, this particular day, I get a phone call and it said, yep, Harley's left the building. So I'm a bit like, okay, what do you mean? And they said, well, he must have called a taxi. He's got his own phone and he's called a cab. And when we've looked up, we've seen him get into a cab. And
They just let him.
the cab is driving out. They didn't know. He literally
But when we
got up.
looked up, the cab was just driving off.
Yeah.
Tell me that they were running out the school after him.
Well, I don't know because I said, well, where's he gone? And they said, we don't know. Luckily, I'm at home and I hear a cab.
No, I'd lose my head. I'd be
cab
like, what do you mean
Then
he's left the
pulls
school?
up as I'm panicking, thinking, right, I've got to get in my car now and just...
Never mind that, you got to call the police first, surely.
No, because I probably knew... Well, I did know what taxi firm he would be with.
Right.
Anyway, as I'm going to get my stuff together, my keys, etc., bear in mind, I've got a little girl, Layla, so I'm having to get her ready. But the taxi pulls up out the front and, there's Harley Ben getting out.
What does he say?
Walking up to the front door like nothing's wrong. And I opened the door and I said, oh, what are you doing? Like, what? He said, no, I didn't really like it today. And just come in, made him something to eat and just said, you can't do that again. Like, you can't. But yeah, that was another true story. Harley brought himself home in the cab.
I'd go mad.
But that was his personality.
I don't
I'm not
care.
I'm not saying it's clever,
Sick.
but he was so ADHD. To him, it's like, oh yeah, I don't fancy this today. Like, mum, I know my mum won't pick me up, so I'll just get in a cab, and that was it.
How did he pay for the taxi?
I always made sure he had money on him because if he ever needed to leave a situation,
Then he's got it.
yeah, he always had money and a mobile phone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was another story.
Well, I'm just thinking about sports day.
Are we allowed to say what?
What?
We're not allowed the putty story, are we?
What party story?
Kairo story. I don't think that's very nice.
What story?
Kairo at school the other day.
Oh,
Because it actually really just reminds me of Harley. I'm
because
sorry.
that was it. So the teacher said to him, have you eaten the Play-Doh?
Play-Doh,
Not patty. I was
patty.
thinking, what are you going on about, patty? Have you eaten the Play-Doh? And Kairo went, no, I haven't eaten the Play-Doh. And she said, well, you have. And he was saying to me, no, Mum, I hadn't eaten the Play-Doh. And usually he owns up to stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then apparently he turned around to the teacher and went, no, and that's quite rude.
I love him. But if he hadn't,
I know, fair enough.
in normal circumstances,
I didn't know what to say back to him, to be honest, because I was like, okay. He's like, but Mum, I didn't.
that's quite rude.
That's quite rude. It's because he's been accused of something he feels he hasn't done.
That's rude. See, that makes me love him even more. I want to squidge his little face.
No, but honestly,
when I
I'm
see
telling
him.
you now, sports day is going down.
Yeah.
I'm going to win everything for
And
him.
I will be there just to film
Honestly.
it. I'll film it.
Even if I end up in like a hospital bed with my leg up and my
Yeah,
arm
being
up.
wheeled in
Anything
to the
for
next
him.
podcast.
Yeah,
The
honestly.
podcast after sports day, it'll be like, I want that one.
It'll all be worth it though. He'll be proud of me. So hey.
So it's all worth it. Broken
definitely-
legs, the
yeah.
lot. Who cares?
No, honestly, Miss Competitive Mum, but he's so competitive. He's got to get it from me.
100%.
He's just joke.
Yeah.
And Kiki, oh my gosh,
Is she
they're
coming
playing
along?
tag me at the moment. So she is running round the island of the table, and you can see her. She looks at him, and then she goes. Then she like walks. That sounds like a doll. We shouldn't say.
I don't. Yeah, she looks at him and then runs off like a Frenchie.
Honestly.
Yeah,
Dribbling. No.
running off. I don't want to witness that because
She's hilarious. Honestly, though, the other day, fuming, she went into the fridge. She's got a thing with going into the fridge at the moment. Everything off that bottom shelf has to be clear because she will go in and clear it out.
Clear it.
Honestly, everywhere. She's a gannet as well. She can literally, her and Kairo can feed themselves.
Oh, they love their food.
They love their food.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Oh my lord.
I love my food. So
No, but they love it to another level,
they do.
don't they? Especially Keeks.
Yeah.
She'll eat anything and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does.
He's like a male version of Matilda.
Yeah.
On the way. Dun, dun, dun. Please tell me you know it.
I don't.
Are you joking with the
Joining in.
pancakes?
What is it?
When she makes the pancakes.
No, sing it.
On the way.
Now I've watched. That's my daughter's favourite film. I've watched that film so many times.
That one.
I don't remember it.
Wait, I can't believe you're telling me you don't remember
I
it.
don't remember it.
The bit where she's frying pancakes and she's making pancakes home alone and then she's reading all the books.
Yeah, I remember the scene, but I don't remember the song.
No, menopause really got hold of her.
Menopause has grabbed me by the throat. Shook the life out of me. When you finally move on or try to move on.
Well, when you feel like the time's ready, because I think people don't understand it's like a mental toll more than a physical one, isn't it?
1,000,000%, yeah.
Or maybe you don't feel confident. Yeah, so I know with Kairo it probably took me about 2 years to start feeling good about myself again. Yeah.
I think I went on a couple of dates when Harley was about nearly 4. Mm-hmm. I met Layla's dad when Harley was just starting. He was still in nursery. So, yeah, he was 4. I decided to get back on the scene. I think I went to dinner with one boy.
From
work.
Whatever you want to call it.
But it was more a friend thing. And then I went out one night and because I had not even looked at another guy, I was with one of my best friends and we walked into a bar in London and I went, oh my God, he's so good looking. She fell over because I hadn't mentioned another man since Harley's dad.
She was like trying to ship you off to him, like, go,
for 4 years. And that's a whole new story, but that was my first
rodeo.
First rodeo.
That wasn't.
No, it was my first date, my first boyfriend since Harley's dad.
So you met him in a bar and he became your boyfriend, then he became your husband.
Yeah, and we had Layla. But I think going back, because that's a whole nother topic, it's the when you feel ready, maybe you guys have got things you can send in to us. Is it feeling ready or do you just meet someone that makes you feel ready?
Jump into it even if you're not ready?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're not ready, but if you just put yourself in those situations, you can get a bit more confident. Like that is genuinely what happened with Celebs Go Dating with me.
You threw yourself in.
If you look at I didn't want to be there at the beginning. And then by the end, I was happy to be in other people's company.
Yes. Big question here.
What?
Do you go for the same type again?
Well, apparently so.
Because do you know? No. Right. So I went
All
for
of
someone.
mine have been the same type.
Mine have ended up being the same type, but not, as in when I met Layla's dad, I loved the fact that he was a 9-to-5, not been married, didn't have kids. Not that it would have been an issue, but it was almost like I tried to go for something completely different so as not to make the same mistake again.
No, I hear you.
Do you know what I mean? I tried to go for someone normal.
Is anybody normal these days?
A guy that had a normal job and blah-de-blah.
I don't really feel like their job's got anything to do with it. It actually doesn't.
I'm not saying it does, but...
No, but as in like, I've seen so many people and their stories and
oh, yeah. But in my subconscious mind, Harley's dad's a boxer,
I see what
crazy, all them things. And I didn't want that in my life anymore.
You wanted the calm. How long were you married to Layla's dad for?
We were together 7 years and we were married just under 2 years.
Okay.
You know, there's traits of him that were the same as Nigel.
And what traits would you say?
Womanizer.
So is that when they've got an ego in themselves?
Yeah, I think it's insecurities.
Yeah, deep down insecurities.
Yeah,
but
I think on face value, you think they're really confident and they're this and that.
I think,
and maybe deep down they're not.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not. No, they've got more issues in Vogue. They think we've got issues.
Yeah, but he was very different in a lot of other ways. Still didn't work, but you know.
Well, at least you tried.
You know what? He used to say to me, you're so, what's the word?
Sexually active.
Cranky. No, he used to say, you're not over your last relationship.
Oh, did he? Mm-hmm. No, isn't that a manipulation thing?
Well,
because when I spoke to that lady who does narcissism and all those relationships, I had like a really in-depth... I do actually want to get her on this pod. She said she will come on, but she's just really busy at the moment. She said to me that was a manipulation tactic.
What, saying that you're broken or whatever?
Yeah, because they're putting it back onto you, aren't they?
Do you know what happened, to be fair to Layla's dad? We just got engaged and that was at the time when Nigel started to see Harley. He was 5. So Oz and I, Layla's dad, got engaged after about a year. And then Nigel came back on the scene. Mm-hmm. And I'm just being really honest. He was like, oh, so you've met someone. He was married and all them things, as we know. And he was like, you'll never love him like you love me. And he didn't want me. He didn't want to be with me, but he got in my head again. And I actually called it off with Layla's dad.
You've just said something, and it's just really reminded me of this message I read the other day. Because I was looking back on the messages. You know how we always talk about you get made to feel crazy, and so you look back at stuff and you're like, actually, I'm not crazy. Mm-hmm. Thank the Lord we've got the receipts for it, because you do get like that sometimes, don't you? But
definitely.
I read back the message. It said, I'm in your head. And I just thought, you want to be. That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
But no.
But no what?
Not anymore. Like, honestly, making that decision in December, like I've said.
But before that, he was.
Like, he knows, because he'd message pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Because I feel as though, it was like a unit with our children. Yeah. It's just the unit, isn't it? Because you want to do what's best for your child. But actually, sometimes that isn't what's best for your child. You know?
Well, for me, we hadn't spoken for a long time. And since the him meeting Harley around the 9 month mark. So this was then, we're 4 years down the line, and
it never goes away, because you're always going to share children.
Yeah.
Or a child.
Yeah.
You know? It's just a matter of time.
He said that, you'll never, and I pushed Layla's dad away, which was not great, really.
So he felt as though he was then second fiddle, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Did that affect you guys a lot?
I think...
Or did you end?
I didn't answer the phone to him for 6 weeks. I literally...
Lisa.
Said, I don't think I can do this. I didn't even give him an explanation. I mean, I'm not proud of this, but it was...
You were going through something in your head. Do you know what it was?
It was 4 years later again. Nigel is coming to my house and seeing Harley. And it wasn't even that I wanted to be with Nigel. It was seeing my son with his dad. I don't know. It just triggered something in me. And I just thought, I don't want to be with anyone.
Really?
Yeah, it was very weird.
That woman did say to me as well, her name's Caroline, she said, they'll pull out a string to see if you're still attached to it. That sounds like that's what he was doing, but using
maybe,
Harley in a way.
But he had no intention of being with me. He was happily married.
No, but just playing with your head.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's sick.
Yeah, not even, and I can honestly say that. It wasn't, it wasn't, I think he was jealous, but not because he wanted me.
It's a jealousy thing because of the God complex.
They
have God complexes.
Yeah.
They think they're like superior.
So then he started seeing Harley for a while. He started calling every day, 10 times a day, and I didn't even answer the phone half the time, if I'm honest. And it wasn't until, and again, this is just me telling my truth, that his wife found the phone bill. In between, me and Caroline actually had a conversation, and whilst Harley was going to her, and I think I spoke about Harley going there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did at the house.
Yeah, and we actually had a pleasant conversation of, she said, the first thing I've got to ask you is, do you still love Nigel? And I said, no, I don't. And then we talked, and she actually said to me a few conversations down the line, because I would liaise with Caroline for Harley to go there. She actually said to me, I'm sure it was her mum, but I can't swear by it. But she said, someone actually said to me, what's Lisa like? Or how is it talking with Lisa? And she actually said, I like her. And I said to her, and I like you. And we really tried to move on.
What happened?
Nigel was calling me 10, 15 times a day, and she had a phone bill come.
Right.
And she called me and said, I'm not blaming you, but is he calling you? And I said, yeah, I'm not calling him though. Everyone can have my phone bill. I don't ever call him. It's all him. They moved to Mallorca and he stopped seeing Harley because of his actions. Again, because of what he done. I didn't do anything. Caroline didn't do anything. He done it. And again, Harley lost out.
Because of his
Just
actions.
started to get to know his dad and his family, and they moved to Spain. And Nigel said, I'll see Harley when he's 16. Oh, will you? So you'll break his heart again, and you'll move to Mallorca after you've brought him into your life because of what you've done, because of your actions, and we all have to suffer. And that was it for another 6 years.
So what then, when he was like 10?
Maybe
11.
about 11, 12.
Yeah, I just can't do that in and out.
We asked him to come back in his life, was when I think I've said,
remember you said about
he
the
went
troubles.
completely
Yeah.
off the rails. But that's the truth. And I'm only ever going to speak the truth on here.
Yeah, it's not going to change anything, is it? Because your children are always going to be your children. It doesn't matter where you live.
Yeah, you can't run from your kids.
Your blood.
Like, you can.
Plus, also, if
you're
you
a
want
fool.
to, then you're sick.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you can. You certainly can.
Yeah.
And a certain person did, but it's not the way. It's not the way.
Not after seeing how Harley has like dealt with everything.
Yeah.
But also, my friend has 2 children with a footballer. Yeah, they don't rate him at all. And I can't see if that footballer ever goes into their lives. And one of their children is really good at football. I can't see them ever giving him time of day, ever.
Well, my son got into boxing, and it wasn't until last year that his dad even put a pair of boxing gloves on with him.
To box with them. Mm-hmm. No, but I'm saying, as in these children, really good friends with their mum. The son in particular, who plays football, they just think nothing great of him.
Yeah.
And I do think his son will make it in football because he's very talented, he's very headstrong, he's very driven.
Hope so as well.
I hope so, because they deserve it, because they've worked hard and they've gone through a lot.
I have no words for that. I have no words. Do you know who springs to mind always when I talk, like Dwight York?
Oh, he's just a disgrace, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't shirk your responsibilities. You just can't.
You can.
No, because if a woman did it, you'd be jailed.
Yeah. Although some women do.
Yes, I have
Some
had
women
messages
do,
to say it's not just men, women do it too. We're
They
now
do.
picking up the pieces
Yeah.
for a mother leaving, but it's more common that the father does
it. But it does still happen, and hats off to them dads that, you know.
Well, also the dads with the new girlfriend taking in, because
that's a whole nother story.
Well, that was a
Dads,
lady.
we are happy to hear from you as well. We have a lot of emails from ladies, don't we?
Yeah.
But we're happy to hear from dads. And if there's anyone out there that's brave enough
What?
that's done what these particular men we talk about have done.
Oh yeah, please give us an insight as to why.
But you'd like to give your reason why, or that would be, I'd love to hear it. Would you? I would love to hear it.
I think it'll put me through trauma again.
No, I'd love to hear it because I'm a long way down the line, aren't I?
You're all right, selfish. Well, some of us are still like...
Yeah, but I've been where you've been. You're lucky I'm not in a straitjacket. Like, honestly.
I put myself in one nightly.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they'll be able to realise why they do it.
I think some do. I think some will have their own story, whether it's...
I went and met a lady, because Kairo had gymnastics, and it was one of Kairo's friends' mums. And she was saying to me that, you know, she has to deal with her baby daddy via an email and has to have her mum CC'd in just so the abuse doesn't, so they don't get abused.
Well, you know, when you're saying this, another thing that springs to mind is when Harley started seeing Nigel when he was 5, and the rule was...
Just Nigel.
Just Nigel.
Right.
Basically, okay, just to brief you, when Nigel started seeing Harley when he was 5, I said... before Harley's integrated into their family, he needs to have a relationship with Nigel, which I think is perfectly normal. That came back, that was okay as long as I wasn't there.
Right.
But that makes me think, gosh, why do you not want me there, the mum there? Not necessarily, I don't mean me, I mean in situations. The mum should make that child feel secure and say, this is all okay, this is your dad. At whatever age you're integrating, surely the mum should be the one that says, this is dad.
Well, I remember once Kyle took Kairo to a shop. I think Kyle went to get pick and mix because he just loves sweets. And Kairo, I think, went to get some crisps. Obviously, I don't like Kairo having sweets, do I?
No.
So he's gone with Kyle, and I've stayed with Kanara. He skipped back, and Kyle went to me. The whole way there and the whole way back, he was literally saying, is Mummy coming to meet us? Are we going to see Mummy now? Is Mummy coming? Are we going back to Mummy now? The whole time.
Of course, but you're his...
safety blanket.
You're his person, aren't
I know,
you?
but it's just so funny because they were meant to have some time by themselves and the whole time sat there talking about me.
Well, I told you, I think I said on the other one about when Harley called to come home, didn't he?
No, did you?
When... I had to drop him off.
Yes, and he said, I just want to go. Oh, and you're your little mini.
Yeah. You know, like kids.
Oh, yeah, I'm his person for real.
Yeah, and that's lovely, really.
It really is. Nothing beats that feeling.
We're thrilled to announce that Angel Wellness Retreat in Tootle, Ongar, Essex is sponsoring the Yours Sincerely pod. Well known for the Angel of Water, dignified colonic irrigation system, the sumptuous Japanese head spa, amongst so many more incredible treatments, or maybe choose a wellness spa day package. Its sister company, the Angel Clinic, also has a doctor and nurse-led aesthetic clinics. Visit Angel Wellness Retreat with ample free parking and experienced staff ready to welcome you to dive into a luxurious world of health, wellness and beauty. Check them out on Instagram at Angel Wellness Retreat.
I went off on a tangent then, didn't I?
You always go off on tangents.
You, little Lauren.
People actually say that, by the way. They're like, how small are you?
You are dinky.
5'1.5".
Half. So
the half counts. I'm sorry, but a guy would not shave off half an inch of his dick.
How tall are you?
Would he?
No, but how tall are you?
5'1.5".
I'm 5'2.5".
Well, are you not? You're obviously 5'2", and you just added on a half.
No.
Well, I'll get the tape measure out.
If I'm adding on a half, I'm 5'3".
No, we'll see. I'll let you guys know.
Anyway, so you, viewers, you'll be pleased to know Lauren went on a date after this morning.
Shit, Sherlock. I've been on loads of dates since.
No, you haven't. Don't lie.
I went to Let's Go Dating.
No, you actually went on a real date, a dinner date. So, how was it? Where did you go?
Where'd I go where?
Who is he?
Who's what?
Do we love him?
Who?
Right, so you went on a date. Don't mug me off on here because I've just told the whole world. You did go on a date and...
Did I?
Did you enjoy it? Was you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous because I've known him for a while. I've known him years.
Right, okay.
Because, my forte is to know them
Know them first. So you do,
can't-
don't you?
Yeah, I really hate going on a date with somebody that I don't know.
Do you?
I don't want to sit there and go, so how many people do, like, if I'm talking to somebody every other day or every few days or every few weeks, and then we've got like stuff that we've spoken about previously, it's so much easier to then go on a date.
Then you're comfortable.
Yeah, and there's just stuff that we can talk about, and you know common ground, you know if you get on with them or not.
So
I cannot think of anything worse, I'm sorry, than sitting there with somebody that you're just looking at your clock like I said on Subscribe Dating, my time is precious. I could be with my kids.
yeah.
Why would I want to waste it on someone that I don't
No,
know?
I completely agree.
Yeah, so I'd rather vet them as my friend first.
I'm falling down the sofa.
You'll fall down the hole.
No, I completely agree. But did you enjoy this date then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going again?
Maybe.
And when do I get to meet him and give my approval?
It's not that far down the line. We're only on the second day.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for
No,
that.
he's really nice. He's fit and he's smart as well.
And it's time. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's time to run off into the
He might
sunset.
fucking if he watches this.
It is, yeah, but it is time.
No, I'm joking. He's sound.
I'm excited for you. Like, I think it's time.
Like, how soon do you let them around your kids?
Yeah.
How soon actually until you let Oz around your kids?
So
Oz is Layla's dad.
Layla's dad, our situation was lucky for me in the way that I worked in London and he lived that way.
Okay.
So
you kind of
we built a relationship without Harley, as in when I was at work, I worked.
You'd sneak off to the toilet.
Yeah. No. When I was at work, I would stay up there and I would be there for 2 days.
Did he live up there?
He lived up there, yeah. But so I would stay with him. So there was no Harley involved. No, it was obviously knew that I was a mum and that was my priority.
Yeah.
But I fitted in work and Oz. And then
2 birds, 1 stone.
yeah, absolutely. And then when we started to think,
To be fair, that's what I do. If I've got London booked in for work, then that's when I'll fit in.
100%.
Because
Then you're not
taking
spending
out of the children's time. Yeah, 100%.
Because I wouldn't have done that for no man until I thought, you know what, I've fallen in love with you, or
But even
this is
then,
going
you probably
somewhere.
would make it some sort of family day, unless it was like a date night. Do you know what I
Exactly.
mean? But what you've literally just said, I've got London this week, so
Of course,
I'm
so you
combining the two.
million
Yeah,
percent, million percent.
for work.
Otherwise, you get mum guilt and all sorts.
We also just don't physically have the time, do you? Realistically,
No.
let's be honest.
And I didn't at that time want to take. I was already away from Harley when I worked. I certainly didn't want to take another day away from it.
Makes sense.
So we built a relationship. Then once you realise, feelings are involved. First time Oz met Harley, we picked Harley up from nursery. He was
How
4.
long had you been dating him?
I'm going to say, because obviously it was a weekly date,
Yeah.
3 months.
I thought you were going to say about 3 months.
About 3 months it was. I obviously loved both of their dads
Yeah.
in completely different ways.
Which one topped it? Which one just edged it? Go on. Be honest.
Nigel.
Really?
I'm celibate. I've been celibate for years.
Yeah, but how many years now? I've been celibate since December.
It's got to be at least 7.
Wow. I don't think men think that women can do it, but when you're not with someone, it's quite easy to do.
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
If I have it, I need to have it all
I was just
the time.
about to say, do you know what it is?
What?
When you don't have something, you don't crave it. Then if you have it, you do. Do you know?
But if you use toys, then it doesn't really help.
But what about when men, I know, men do whatever, but when men,
Whatever, they have a wank.
yeah, but when men are in prison, obviously, no, but then
That took a sharp left.
there isn't a woman,
No, but they have their hands.
of course, but I'm saying, personally, for me,
I feel like it's different for men.
I do. That's what I was going to say. For
Were
women,
you?
it's very different.
Oh, if I don't have it for like 6 months,
You go past it. So our emails have been really, really, really coming thick and fast, haven't they? Yeah. But that's another thing about how soon you introduce your new partner, when you have another child, how that goes if you have another child.
But with them?
With someone else, yeah, with someone new, how that goes.
Which means how that goes.
As in, well, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I was so protective over Harley.
When you had Layla?
Yeah. And so worried about him not feeling a part of it. Which is a whole new ball game again. There is so much to talk about.
I don't really think I'm going to have that problem.
How
I'm
you...
not having anymore.
Never say never.
What is with everyone trying to get me pregnant?
Never say never. No, but you don't know. You're still young. You don't know.
I don't feel it.
But you are, and you don't know. But
honestly,
I'm saying that's another thing.
They're complete. I'm complete with them.
Yeah. I actually thought I would never have another child after Harley.
But you had one. I've got two. I've got one of each.
Yeah. I'm so blessed. So you. When you get one of each, two healthy, beautiful kids, you're so blessed. I'm so grateful for that.
Weird, because I didn't know whether, when I was pregnant with Kairo, I really didn't care what his gender was going to be, because obviously I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was so lucky that I was being able to have this baby with endometriosis and all of that. Like,
so you didn't mind. See,
I didn't care. I didn't care if it came out an ant.
I wanted a girl.
Well, I would have, but you know what I mean.
No, I wanted a girl.
Did you? No, because when you're told that you're going to have to go through IVF and all of that, you honestly, I can probably speak for most of the endo community that have been told that. You think to yourself, I don't care, as long as this baby is healthy and I can deliver this baby. I don't care whether it's a girl or boy.
I think...
But obviously, once I had Kairo, when I then found out that Kanara was a girl, I was like, wow, this is insane.
Yeah.
Because they're so different, aren't they, boys and girls?
Yeah. Oh, so different. But when Nigel guessed I was pregnant, he called me to go to Tenerife, and I said, I can't. And he said, you're pregnant, aren't you? I said, yes. And he said, the baby will be beautiful, Lise, and put the phone down.
Well, that's normal.
I was very early. That was very early. And in my mind, I thought, I'm doing this alone. And
Well, you knew from that call?
yeah,
Or...
yeah. I thought, I hope it's a girl, because Dad's not going to be around. And I don't know whether that's right or wrong. That was just my personal thought. And then
I think it's because I always get told that boys need male energy.
exactly.
Have you been,
Yeah, and it worried me. And then I booked in at Great Portland Street for my scan. This is another true story, and my friend's there to back me up. My friend came with me, and she was doing the scan, and the midwife actually said, I think you only need to look. This is definitely a boy.
How many weeks?
It's on the screen, and then you had to be 18 weeks
That's a quote.
to have a scan. I remember coming out of the hospital and getting in a cab, and I went straight to Gap, which was the shop to go to at the time, and I bought Harley a little pair of white trainers and a baby blue little outfit. And I remember thinking, you know what, it's not so bad. I'm actually glad.
Anyone that loves to bake or loves any food recipes on my Instagram, I do like to post them.
And if you'd like to make spaghetti hoops on toast,
Go
on to my Instagram.
Yeah, you're an absolute shambles.
I am. I can't cook.
Which is terrible. I can.
My poor kids. Like Harley is such a good cook because he had to be.
Yeah, you burnt toast when I was at yours.
Absolutely.
I think the only thing you can do is put a jack potato in the oven.
Yeah.
And I love you for it.
No, I'm sorry.
It's just, there's no words.
Just sorry, kids. I love you, but sorry.
Honestly.
You can't be good at everything.
What are you good at?
Loads.
I make cakes.
Makes cake. You should start selling your cakes. You are really good. Why don't you open a business?
Babe, I don't have time.
No, maybe it's something to do in the future.
As well as everything else I do.
In the future, I said.
Babe, in the future, I've got too much to do. You know how busy my life is.
I know, but you are such a good cook and baker and all them things, it would.
I learnt the cooking from my mum, probably the baking from my nan.
Yeah,
My
you
nan
are
was like the
very
baker,
good.
my mum was like the cook. And
She's wife material. So if any of you out there want to write in, send me a picture.
why are you selling me?
I can narrow it down.
I'm not a
and
camel.
We'll take it from there.
So if you want to listen to any of my highlight reels, then I've got the recipe reel.
Oh, she's still going. Jesus Christ. Someone take the factories out of her. Say goodbye.
It's done by electricity, but I just wanted to let everyone know that if they want the recipes that you
They heard you the first time.
Well, I don't know, 'cause you keep interrupting me, but the recipes are on my recipe highlight reel. Maybe you should take a leaf out of their book and go and look at it and try and practice at home, okay? Instead of stroking your dog.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, to the Yours Sincerely pod with me, Lauryn Goodman.
Oh, and me, Lisa Andrews.
And potentially only got one more episode until the series is finished. Mm-hmm. What will you do without us? Don't worry, we'll be back for season 2.
Back, don't you worry.
Well, guys, take care. Bye.
If I'm still alive.
Oh, shut up with that.
Bye.
Bye. This podcast is sponsored by Timeless Moments. Timeless Moments is Portugal's top-rated, award-winning yacht charter company, offering unforgettable experiences along the breathtaking Algarve coast and beyond. Whether you're looking for a luxurious day out at sea, a private event, or a relaxing escape, our fleet of premium yachts and professional crew ensure every moment is exceptional. We specialise in creating personalised high-end experiences that are perfect for any occasion. Discover why we're the preferred choice for yacht charters in Portugal and start planning your next adventure with us at www.timelessmoments.pt.